everybody, Liz here and welcome to my channel. So if you know me in real life, you know me in my internet life, you know that I love the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown. And I was extremely excited, overwhelmed with joy when Pierce Brown announced his sequel trilogy, Iron Gold. So Morningstar came out last year around this time, and we were supposed to get Iron Gold in August of this year. But because Pierce didn't feel ready to release Iron Gold, we will not be getting Iron Gold until January of 2018. So we have an extra 6-month wait for Iron Gold, and it would be about 2 years from the release of the last Red Rising book, which is Morningstar. If you don't know, this is Red Rising, probably my favorite series ever in the history of ever, but that's irrelevant. So we are not getting Iron Gold until next year. So that gives us an extra like 6 months to ponder over what the fuck is going to happen, because we know that it takes place about a decade after the events of Morningstar, and at the end of Morningstar there was just a lot of loose ends in the society with our characters. Everything was kind of just left up in the air where we didn't know what was going on. We knew Mustang was going to...
Spoiler alert, in case you haven't finished Morningstar, so spoiler alert. Look at my shirt while that, look. Ooh. Thank you to the Red Helldiver on Twitter who actually sent this to me, and then I have my pins from the Kickstarter on my person too, and my makeup is also inspired by Red Rising. I mean, I don't know if you can tell my lips just look crusty, but they're supposed to be gold and red. So, anyways.
Mustang takes over the role that the Sovereign Octavia Oluna occupied before she was brutally murdered by our fellow Howlers and Cassius. So we have Mustang essentially taking over, and we have the sons of Ares getting basically exterminated in the Outer Rim and the outer planets. We have the core and the rim separating, kind of a uneasy, forced truce on Darrow's part, and everything's kind of left in disarray. And we know that it's a decade after. A lot of stuff could have gone down in those 10 years. A lot of restoration, a lot of murders, just a lot of just horribleness. So we are left with our beautiful Darrow and Mustang with their baby packs, which I'm just gonna gloat that I totally called that on Tumblr last year, 2 years ago, when Morningstar was going to be released. I called it that Darrow and Mustang were having a baby, but I'm just gonna leave that there too. We have baby packs, and we have Mustang and Darrow being together. Darrow, his mission is kind of over. He has dismantled, or at least attempted or started the dismantlement of the society. We have Mustang trying to bring in just change into the world. I mean, we have Severo and Victra together, and everything is kind of just left in a semi-nice way. But then, because Pierce moved back the release for Iron Gold, he was nice enough to send out an excerpt. So if you got the excerpt, you would get it on this past Friday in mail. If not, he tweeted it out and he put it on his Facebook. If not, I'm sure it's on Random House's page. If I can, I will link it down below, but no guarantees. So we got that Iron Gold excerpt. So we know Iron Gold is 10 years after, I've mentioned already. We know that it's going to be in multiple points of view, so not just Darrow's point of view. And we got Lysander's point of view in the excerpt. So I read it, and my heart hurt because I remembered that I have to wait 11 more months. It's okay. I'm willing to wait, but I wrote down some stuff. So we have Lysander's point of view in this excerpt. So Lysander's about 18 years old, right? He was like 8 years old at the end of Morningstar-ish, 10. So he's anywhere between 18 and 20 years old. My first impressions were that he is very Darrow-y in his angst, and it makes sense because Darrow was his like hero, his idol and stuff like that. But we also get a lot of kind of new information about what's going on in the world outside of what's going on in his perspective. So we have him and Cassius, who Cassius is totally daddy Cassius and not in that nasty way, but as in like father figure Cassius. And we know that they have been on the run for most of the last 10 years. So they've been just constantly back and forth, moving because of, I guess, who Lysander is and what he represents. He's being hunted. Him and Cassius have been running, which is really sad for 10 years. We learn also that there has been an economic collapse. So all the money just crumbled and everybody's kind of crazy and doesn't know what's going on. We also know that the war or warfare is still very much a reality, even 10 years after. So we know that they're still fighting, we know they're still killing, we know nothing about the Rim apparently. We also get like a huge insight, or not a huge insight, we get a nice insight on who kind of Lysander is growing up to be. As of now, he definitely does not give me those Augustus vibes where he might kill Darrow or he might want to kill Darrow in the future, like Augustus did with that one family after, right before he took arch-governorship. We also have these like space pirates called like the Ascomani, so basically like the space mafia and the space pirates, and we know that they are rumored to be Obsidians. So Obsidian pirates, I mean, I just really like the idea of Obsidian pirates, even though they're probably killing a lot of people. So we have like space mafia slash space pirates, and we are all aware that most of them are like Obsidians, and or a lot of them are now Obsidians because Obsidians were kind of released from slavery and from military camps, and they're kind of, I think, the most lost out of all of the colors just because they depended so much on gold rule. So they're kind of just like thrown in the air, and to be honest, if I found out that everything I've known is a lie, that I was raised to kill, to be slaves, and to be like basically like savage pit bulls for these people, I would join the space pirates and just fuck some shit up, quite frankly. So we have space pirates. We know that there are very kind of more towards like the outer rim areas. That's where it says that a lot of them have been like raiding and stuff like that. And we also know in this ship that they had boarded, the person, the gold that paid the like captain or whatever is lunar born. So I'm wondering if it's like a like Luna loyalist. Probably. I'm sure there's still a lot of golds that are very much unwilling to let go of the fact that they are not any longer like the top tier, that people are trying to fight against that. So I'm almost 100% sure that most prideful golds are not willing to let that go. Another reason I think that perhaps Lysander is not going to turn Augusti revengeful person is because he helps the low colors, and so does Cassius. So it was really nice. So they helped the low colors, and you know, Cassius's loyalties shift a little. Like he wasn't willing to help the gold or that was on board. So that kind of screams a lot considering Cassius is very, or was very much like gold, although he did change that at the end of Morningstar once him and Darrow kind of made peace. We found out a lot, I feel, from the short 10-page excerpt. So that is, war is very much still a reality in this world. Big surprise. Cassius is father figure to Lysander, and Lysander is old. He's an adult, or not old, but he's older, and he kind of understands that his family was bad, knows that his grandma wasn't the greatest person in the world, and that the world had to change for a reason. We know that the economy is shit, or at least it's only recovering. I mean, I'm imagining like something along the lines of like the Great Depression is going on. Who knows what's really going on with the rest of the planets, because they have been on the run, so we don't know whether like Luna or Mars or Mercury or Venus or any of the core planets have kind of found stability after dismantling the society. So we can hope. I'm still pretty sure that there's a lot of murdering and a lot of just biased and a lot of golds that do not care to treat the low colors as their equals. We know that there is Obsidian space pirates and slash, I'm pretty sure the mafia is gonna come up, like the asteroid mafia, right? That Severo mentions. So we have the Obsidian space mafia, and I mean, Obsidians are scary motherfuckers who like are huge, been bred to do nothing but be aggressive. I'm sure there are Obsidians that are like Ragnar, who are willing to make a change, Sephi, all of that, but I think for the most part, since none of them have known kindness from any color, they're kind of right now on a rampage. I can't speak. So I feel like Obsidians are going to be a huge antagonistic force in Iron Gold, perhaps. So I guess this moves into like my theories. We know that Pax is going to be about 10 years old now. I'm hoping that Severo and Victor had a baby. That's Darrow and Mustang had another baby. So we know that hopefully at least Mustang is still in power and they have somewhat have a semblance of a new government, like government officials, and more of a democracy as opposed to like a dictatorship from what they've had. And I'm sure since there are reformists that the golds will have someone to help them ease into this new world. I'm hoping that all of the reds that were toiling under the earth / Mars get freed. Obviously they still need someone to terraform, so I'm also pretty sure that a lot of reds are gonna stay mining because they don't know anything else. For the most part, I think every color is going to stay similar to the bracket that they were in because we don't like change as humans, and I'm sure that the Red Rising world is not different. So I feel like there will be people like shifting, moving, and things are going to change, but for the most part, people are going to stay pretty much the same, and they're going to have to try to unteach centuries of, you know, programming and all that stuff. Like, how are they going to get rid of all of the pinks? How is that going to work? The entire trilogy, the pinks were kind of the lowest of the low, even lower than, I think, reds. Unless you were a rose, like, they had the least amount of liberties. Like, they couldn't even have children, so they kind of had it the worst for the most part, because they were, I think, pinks and obsidians, honestly, were probably the least, they are just treated the worst, quite frankly. So the obsidians are gonna probably like space pirates, and the pinks are probably going to reform to be able to have children, to be able to have families, to not serve the gold, because that was their entire purpose, is to serve gold or to serve other colors. So hopefully we get something in that aspect, like we understand what's going on, what role or the white's going to play in this new society. Obviously there's still going to be military, there still has to be entertainment or people telling you the news. Like, are other colors going to be taught how to do the yellow's job, which is medicine? I mean, blues are essentially like half cyborgs, so how is that going to work? There's just so many questions, and I have an entire year to ponder them, so yay. I'm actually rereading the series right now, and I'm probably going to do it again right before Iron Gold is released. So honestly, like, the most exciting part of reading the excerpt, other than the fact that, you know, it's Lysander's point of view and we know that he's still alive and Cassian is still alive and Cassian is amazing, is space pirates, obsidian pirates. Like, that was the most exciting part, even though they've kind of wreaked havoc on the world. I was really, really just happy that we got the excerpt. I'm hoping, praying, Pierce, that you release another excerpt later on, closer than we get. But honestly, like, someone's gonna die, I feel. Maybe Cassian, because, or all the glow colors I just saved. Because last time, when we got the Morning Star excerpt, we met, I can't remember his name, and we met him for 4 chapters. Everybody was so in love with him. We're like, oh my god. He said the famous Aries sends his regards, motherfucker line. And then 2 chapters after, so 2 new chapters in Morning Star, he died. So I don't trust Pierce not to kill somebody. So I'm going to assume that all of the low colors are gonna die, and perhaps their pilot at this point, because he just likes to break our heart. I mean, he took Pax from us, he took Quinn from us, he took Ragnar from us. Like, can we really expect anything else from this man? Pierce, I mean, I'm just hoping that you release more excerpts or more teasers as the year progresses and we get closer to the new release of I keep wanting to say Morning Star, the new release of Iron Gold. So, did you guys agree with some of the stuff I said, some of the predictions? Like, what are your first reactions for Iron Gold? What do you want from Iron Gold? We know it's gonna be a trilogy, so it's gonna be amazing. So yeah, guys, that is all for me. So if you like this video, feel free to hit that like button, and if you want to see more of my face, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. I would really appreciate it. If not, have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you happen to be watching this, and happy readings. Adios. Au.